So you might be like me. You look at the news and you see a headline that Trump wants to take 600,000 Chinese students on student visas to do business with us, to come to the United States and learn in our universities. And you kind of ask yourself, well, why is that? Well, that would raise the cost of education, right, for Americans. And, because again, supply and demand, there's a fixed supply of this, but you're increasing the demand for the amount of seats in the classrooms, right? If you're filling these up with Chinese students. So that makes education more expensive for Americans that want to go into STEMs, like, electrical engineering, medical, physics, whatever, subjects that would require a university education. And the stated reason that came out of the administration is that we don't want our universities to go out of business. And on the surface, that sounds right. Well, Generation Z is a very small generation, much smaller than the millennial generation, and there's a lot less students attending. And that actually would be kind of a good thing, because when you have a smaller generation, when that allows for a contraction and prices to drop, it would actually make things more affordable for Generation Z. However, that is not the actual reason why. The reason why that Trump wants to allow 600,000 student visas from China is because it's part of the trade deal. Because there's some squabbles with regard to, trying to, quote, fix the trade between China and the United States. One of the deals that were made, and this was made, when was this made? This is made last June, so several months ago, that China was going to withhold doing business with rare earth minerals. They were a big exporter of rare earth minerals, and they weren't going to export to the United States unless the Trump administration allowed 600,000 student visas so that Chinese students could learn in the United States. So that was actually part of that deal. I have the article right here. I'm going to link it in the description below. So the university system, losing business is actually not the reason why. It's because that's part of the deal. And it sounds like China won on that deal. Imagine getting something that you already had before, trading in rare earth minerals, but only this time you get the extra benefit of sending your population to go learn in another country that has a better education system, and then bring that knowledge back to your country. This sounds like a screw up, actually. It doesn't sound like something Trump would want. So that kind of leaves to the imagination with regard to these tariffs. And it also begs the question, who is advising Trump? Trump has his baby boomer mentality, but who is telling Trump, say, hey, we could do this and this and this and this, and China will cave? But it looks like China got us on this deal right here. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description below. The summary is that the 600,000 student visas is a deal that Trump caved to in order to continue doing business with regard to the importation of rare earth minerals from China.